Today we're doing something different. We're interviewing up-and-coming British swimmer Elliot Clogg. If you're listening on YouTube, subscribe and like. If you're listening on Spotify, I think it's download. I'll put all the links in the description. So Elliot, how inspired were you with the London 2012 Olympics?
I mean, at that time I was only 12 years of age, so I was at kind of the start of my career, really. Just still having fun with swimming, but being able to just see the Olympics on TV in your home country was really special. And to watch like the swimming, knowing that like that's the sport that I wanted to take further as I got older, it was really, really cool to just watch the top guys, and it really inspired me and made me love the sport even more. Especially, we had some great performances from London, but we knew we had a lot to work on, and I kind of saw that, and I was like, I can keep going at the sport, keep getting better, and one day I could be at that level and try and take British swimming further and be more competitive.
Why did you get into swimming as a kid?
So I was taken to learn to swim by my parents, just as a life skill, basically. Because it's very dangerous if you fall into the water. So just to be able to learn to swim, just as a life skill, was something that my parents wanted me to achieve. And from that, I achieved it pretty easily. I kind of enjoyed it and started to have fun, make friends. And that's kind of how it started, really. Just really enjoying every time I went there, went in the pool. Then as I got older, started to get to like 7, 8 years, 9 years old, I started to really enjoy like the competitive side, like racing against other people, older people, trying to like make myself the best that I can possibly be. And that's kind of stayed throughout until this day.
How did you get into competitive swimming?
So basically, the home club that I swam for was Sherwood Colliery Swimming Club, and it's just like a kind of like a home club program where you go training. It's not too performance based, but around the age of like 7, there's like Saturday night galas that you can do. So like races against like teams from Worksop or teams from Nottingham. So I was the Mansfield-based team called Sherwood. We'd race like every Saturday night, and I think you had to be 9 or 8 to compete. But I was put in at 7 and still managed to race pretty well. So to be able to race like older guys than me at an age where I'm not really supposed to be racing, that was kind of like the spark that ignited me really being enjoyed in that competitive side. And I think just being able to train yourself, like especially now, like training yourself like every day, practicing things like numerous times, swimming 50,000 meters a week, and then come into a race where you just swim 4 lengths or 2 lengths, just to be able to put everything into those 4 lengths and try and test yourself and get the best out of yourself that you've been practicing day in, day out against the best people in the world now, is something that I can't really describe that feeling, but it's something that I've grown up with, and it's just got better and better and better, and it keeps giving, and yeah, that thing just drives me, that competitive edge.
Did your swimming ever get in the way with schoolwork?
So luckily I had a very supportive school. So I went to Meaden School in Warsop. And, I think the big thing is communication. When I was at primary school, it didn't really get interfere as much because, I was younger. Like I was just doing it more as a hobby. But as I got older, like 14, 15, 16, going through the later years of secondary school, and obviously I've got GCSEs as well, it did like get quite hard to balance it. But the good thing is, because I communicated well with my school, I never like messed about or anything. So I was a good pupil. So they understood everything that was going on. So if I needed, an extra 2 days to complete my homework, because I've been racing at the weekend, that they'd happily do that. If I needed to come in late because I've been training, I was training at Sheffield at the time, so it was like a 45-minute drive away from school. And that was like getting up at 4 a.m, 2 hours in the pool, getting straight to school for 8:30, school all day, straight back up to Sheffield, and I wouldn't get home until like 8:30 at night. So it was pretty full on. But just having that communication and understanding by the school really helped. And I'm very grateful that they understood what I was going through and what I was trying to achieve. But yeah, I managed to complete my school successfully, well, and yeah, all good.
You spoke about waking up early in the morning to go to Sheffield to train. Were you ever unmotivated to get out of bed?
I mean, yeah, there's some mornings it was hard, when that 4:10 alarm goes off in the morning. Yeah, it was pretty hard, but like, I think I don't remember ever waking up and going, oh, I'm going to miss today because I'm tired. Like, the only sessions I would have missed if it was because I was ill or training was unavailable. Like, if, I don't know, say example, the car broke down. Like, that's the only reason I wouldn't be able to get this training. I never woke up and thought, oh, I just want to go back to bed. So I think I was always motivated. And one thing that drove me was, my mum gave up work to be able to drive me to and from Sheffield every day, because she would have to sit in the stands for 2.5, 3 hours while I train as well. So she couldn't really do much else than be, I don't know, my taxi service at the end of the day. So knowing that she's put her dedication into it as well to get me to and from training drove me to be like, I need to do this. Like, I want to do this, and I want to do it for not only myself, but I want to do it for my family as well. And also, my dad, like, seeing as my mum gave up work, he was always working hard at work as well, supporting the family in that way as well. So yeah, I was always pretty motivated.
At what point did you go from a normal swimmer to a professional swimmer?
As I got to like 13, 14, I made the decision to transfer to Sheffield due to like just getting better training. What was available at Mansfield, I didn't believe could take me to that next level. Didn't have a long course pool, didn't do any gym and all of this. So I weighed up the options, and Sheffield was the best choice for me. And from there, my first nationals with Sheffield, I won. So I made my first final, got gold medal. So I was national champion at 14. Following on from that year, we competed at London for the, I think it was a British champs, but for us it was to qualify for European juniors. And I did that, came second 3 times to the same guy, which I still joke about to him now. But yeah, that qualified me for the European Youth Olympics. So that was my first like junior GB call up, which was pretty amazing. And then from there, it was 2016 European Juniors again, 2017 World Juniors. And then that was kind of the end of my junior career. So if you're saying when did my professional career start, it was kind of 2018 onwards, because that's when I became a senior swimmer. In swimming, you become senior at 18, which is quite young. But yeah, I made Commonwealth Games. It was my first year as a senior swimmer. I got 2 silver medals. Then made the European Championships as a senior. And yeah, I think from 2018, my professional career started.
How did it feel to go to the Commonwealth Games as a professional swimmer?
It was pretty surreal, like, I know this might not sound like a lot of people, but in swimming, 10,000 people in the crowd is like unbelievable. Like in football, obviously you've got like 60,000 or whatever, but for swimming, like to have 10 to 15,000, I think it was, in like a built up stand around a pool like it was something that not many swimmers have ever experienced before, because it was a huge event. It was in the Gold Coast in Australia. So I never got to go to Australia before, and then this was my chance as well, just to travel the world as well. Like swimming takes you so many places, and yeah, it was amazing to be amongst. For the Commonwealth Games, it was obviously England we're swimming for, so it was the best people in England, and obviously to be a part of that team and come away with 2 silver medals at a young age of 18 was amazing. Like I never expected to come away with any medals or anything. I just wanted to go and enjoy the experience and get that under my belt and hopefully use that in my later career. But yeah, it was so good. Like not many words to describe how good it was, but yeah, just the fact that it was in Australia as well.
When doing research, I found that your preferred stroke is the backstroke. Have you got a reason for that?
I think I've always kept myself wide open with my strokes. I think that's quite important, especially for like younger swimmers who are coming through. Like, don't specify into a stroke until you're older. Like I always kept doing my individual medleys, like when I was young, just trying to work on different strokes. But when you get older, you kind of realize if you're going towards one stroke more than the other. And I think that was it really. I knew I was naturally talented at backstroke. I mean, I've still got a decent freestyle and I still do that today. I didn't really focus on it much this year just because it was Olympic year and I really wanted to target the backstroke. But yeah, I mean, I like it as much as freestyle, but it's just like I'm naturally more gifted on the backstroke, so I'm gonna do what I'm better at really. But yeah, in Australia it was quite hard because backstrokes, obviously you're looking up, and there was like no roof, and subconsciously you like follow lines on the roof so you can swim straight, and because it was open air, like it was so hard to swim straight. So like all these little experiences that I've gone through just helped me now really. But yeah,
I see, unfortunately, you didn't get to Tokyo Olympics this year. Does that give you more motivation to get to Paris in 2024?
I think it does. Well, I know it does. With all the COVID and whatnot, it's been a difficult year for everyone. Like my plans changed massively. I'm now back in Loughborough. I don't know if you know about that. Like I came 2018 to Loughborough, went back to Sheffield. Now I'm back here. So it's been a bit all over the place, but I'm solid where I am now, and I know I'm going to be here for the foreseeable future, which is really good to know. So I can get like some good few years in with Mel Marshall, and alongside like Luke Greenbank. He's actually in my house right now because they've got to isolate for Olympics, so I'm helping him out with that. But yeah, it motivates me massively. Mel said that Tokyo was just like, if you made it, like great, but it's not our target. Like our target was 2024 and still is 2024. So for me, knowing that in 3 years I can still progress and I'll be 3 years, 4 years the wiser. Yeah, it really motivates me and pushes me each day.
If you had to say your pool to gym ratio, what would it be?
So we usually I swim 9 pool sessions a week and 3 lifting sessions and then 1 circuit at gym. So like lifting is obviously like your bench, your squat, your big key lifts like weights, and circuit is a Saturday morning session where it's like high intensity interval training type of exercise. But yeah, we do a lot more swim than gym, but still having 4 gyms included with 9 swim is quite a lot. But yeah.
For that swimming, do you have to bank the meters or get special coaching?
There's lots of variables, like obviously just banking the meters in, really. That's just going to get you aerobic capacity improved. So we usually average 50,000 meters a week. Some people do less, some people do more. Like Luke will do 60 to 65, because his background's a lot bigger, so he can handle that. So I usually sit 50 to 55, just below him. But like, saying we do 50,000 meters a week, you might be thinking, why do you need to do that for a 200 meters backstroke or 100 meters backstroke? But it's like I said, like the more you swim at that level, the more you're going to improve your aerobic. And same with the anaerobic, we do speed sessions. We get like parachutes on, swim with that to increase resistance so we can improve power. We swim with cords. So like you attach yourself with a belt, and there'll be like a long piece of like elastic, and Mel will be at the end like pulling you in, so you're like going super fast, so you can like feel what it's like to go really, really fast. And then you've obviously got your drill work where you put your fins on, your paddles, snorkels, and you work on the technical aspects. And having all these, including all them together in your 10 sessions that you do a week, will eventually pay off and improve your swimming capability.
Have you ever had your top speed measured when you're swimming?
Sometimes, yeah. So we have like technical analysts at British Swimming. So they'll like, it's usually in a race that they'll test that. So we get like a data sheet back from my performance at London in April. I've got a sheet that tells me meters per second that I was traveling at, my turn speed, like from the flags in to the wall to the 15 marker, my start, stroke count, stroke rates, like literally everything is on this sheet, and we work off that in training. So like if Mel says, let's do 450s, 200 pace, holding your back end count or stroke rate, we can look at these sheets, understand what our individual stroke count and stroke rates are, and we work towards them. But yeah, usually measuring top speed is usually just in the race. So they'll film it, and then they'll be able to measure how fast you're traveling.
Who's the best swimmer you ever met?
Obviously, it's amazing to be training with like Adam, because he's like the best in the world. Like, I don't know, he's like nearly 2 seconds ahead of the world, which is ridiculous. Like in any sport, to be that far clear of the rest of the world is amazing. So to meet him and be mates with him and train with him every day is pretty cool. But then, I've also met some other great swimmers, not just swimmers, like other athletes, especially at Commonwealth Games, like, because it was a multi-sport event. Managed to meet like some of the athletics guys and gymnastics guys, and it's a pretty cool thing. It's kind of more special going to a multi-sport because you see different people's training and different types of people than just your average swimmers that you see like every day, really. So yeah, I've seen Usain Bolt. I've been in the same room as him after Commonwealth Games. When we had some downtime, because we had like a couple of days after to just relax and enjoy being on the Gold Coast, and yeah, bumped into him. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, I'd probably say that too.
Do you have a set diet in a week?
Yes, so we have a British swimming nutritionist who works with us all. I think it's more individual. So if you want a plan, then you can approach him and say what you're looking for. Say if you want muscle gain or fat loss or whatever, he can tailor a program to you. But I'd say my diet's pretty good, and I know what I need and what I shouldn't be eating. But when we're in heavy weeks, if we want a pizza or want a chocolate bar, like we can still do that because we're training 50,000, 60,000 meters a week. Like we're going to burn it off in the morning. But yeah, it's just like being on top of yourself with what you're eating and how much you're eating of it. And I think being able to just treat yourself every now and again, like, you know, Friday night, you've had a long week. Oh, I just want a pizza. Like, I think that mentally has a big effect. I think a lot of swimmers will back that. Not just swimmers, like athletes, like, because if you're just eating salads every day, like mentally, that can just be like, oh, I've got to have a salad. Whereas if you eat well and then treat yourself every now and again, not too much, I think that benefits a lot.
Finally, what's your plans for the future? Is it Paris?
So Paris will be my end focus for this next cycle, like being the top priority. This coming season, there's quite a lot of competitions. So there's like the Commonwealth Games 2022 in Birmingham. There's another European Championships, or World Championships. So it's kind of like full on. There's also the International Swimming League, which starts end of this year. The draft's going on currently. So I'm hoping to be selected for one of the teams for that, because that'll be good to race against the best people in the world, get some back-to-back racing in. And yeah, just keep working, keep improving, keep trusting the process and what I'm doing. And hopefully by 2024, I'll be in a great position, ready to qualify for my first Olympic team.
That wraps up a great interview. I want to thank Elliot for his time and some great answers, and I hope you all enjoyed.